Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 93 of Direwolf20's Let's Play. Getting back to my Rube Goldberg machine. Just a reminder for anyone who didn't see last episode, what we've got so far. When I activate the button over here, we're going to see the following happen. A plant gets planted, grown into a tree, and then harvested. Awesome. And make sure the black hole band is working inside our alchemical chest. We get some saplings and some wood coming out of here. Perfect. All the wood will get sent down here, and any excess wood will get turned into bone meal, which will be used back in our deployer. Once we get the wood placed into our furnace, you'll see that the automatic reed harvesting system kicks into action. A green laser grows the reeds much quicker than normal, and the block breaker harvests the reeds and sends them back into a regulator that's under the ground. Once the regulator accumulates 8 pieces of reed / sugarcane, that's going to place it directly into the bottom of the furnace, preparing for the cooking of the next round of items. Meanwhile, the charcoal is going to get placed into this alchemical chest condenser, which will get compressed down from charcoal to sugarcane. Cool. So now that we've got this nifty little machine going on that gets us the one of the ingredients that we're going to need, sugarcane, let's go ahead and work on the next component of this machine that'll happen after the sugarcane line. And for that, we're going to need a few more items. So let's go visit a couple of our different ages here, because we've got a few things we're going to need to work on. Let's see what I've got in my bags and if I need to go get anything extra. Yeah, I'm going to have to go get some extra stuff. So I'll meet you guys in the overworld, and look at the mess. Oh yeah. Oh, and that reminds me, before I forget, I better grab an alchemical chest straight out of my Klein Star, and use my Philosopher's Stone to get myself probably a new orange bag. And just remember, like I said in the last episode, when I dropped my orange bag into the void, just crafting a new one will get me all the items back. Woot, because the orange bag inventories are shared. Awesome. So, where are we at now? What do I want to get? Yeah, we're going to need a few items here, and I might have some stuff in the white bag as well to help me out. See? I always wind up dropping that thing. Alright, not bad. I'm going to head to the Age of Magic, because I want to use some Thaumcraft in this. Alright, so why don't I get prepared for the items I need, and I'll be back to show you what I'm making. Alright, I hope you guys haven't forgotten about the Age of Magic. There might even be a few more things I'd like to get accomplished in this age, but that'll have to come in a future episode. For now, I'm combining some glowstone and some redstone to get myself some night ore. Hooray! And I'm going to use that stuff in just a moment here to get myself a couple air essences. I want to make sure I have enough of them. I think I do, but just to make sure, yeah, that should be good. Alright, we'll store this extra stuff in here, and then we're going to head back to the Age of Rubes to get started. I'm going to grab some magic essences here and a few earth as well. Yep, that'll be good. Probably going to need a few arcane seals. Might only need one of these, but I just wanted to make sure I had the excess items that I need here. So back over to the overworld and into the Age of Rubes. And I'm really getting addicted to this whole Mistcraft traveling system. Awesome. Hooray! And remember to reactivate your little thing here. For some reason, it seems like equivalent exchange items, when you leave an age and come back, they have to be reactivated. Not a big deal, though. All right. So, oh, you know what? There's one more thing I need to make. Almost forgot. And I meant to make it while I was in here. Let's do the following. This guy. I'm going to pull from here probably target diamond and just get 1, 2, 3 diamonds. Cool. And let that thing sit on the floor for a minute while I go over to my miscellaneous junk and get another green. So yes, this will be another green lens that we're making. Cool. Excellent. Gonna need you. Perfect. Now I'll head back to the Age of Rubes and get started on another build, which is of course going to require, I might even need more than one green lens, believe it or not, but we'll figure it out. Alright, right here, how do I want to start this? Maybe I want to start this over on this side and have it face the other direction, right? So kind of like the middle is open and we have one component over here and one component happening over here. That might be neat. Yeah, I like that plan. Alright, so first off, we're going to need to grab the following items. Alright, I think I've got a rough idea on how I want this build to work, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to need, out of my white bag here, switch out the Vulcanite amulet for my Evertide amulet again. because I'm going to need to do something with water again, which makes sense since I have one of these green lasers. What I want to do is probably knock out a block somewhere around here. Let's put it right here, and we'll find out if that's in a good spot or not in about a minute. Might have to relocate some things just to make it look nice, but you know, we'll figure it out as we go. Cool? Alright, so that looks good to me. Now, water block can go right here, and in front of those water blocks, I'm going to get myself some grass. And instead of just having grass there, I'm going to go dig into my green bag and see what do I have. Here we go, a stone hoe. Perfect. Bum, bum, bum. And the stone hoe is going to, of course, allow me to plant some crops. What kind of crops am I going to get? Well, you're going to have to wait and see. But in addition to those crops, I'm going to be planting down a very important item. Probably two, as a matter of fact. I'm just trying to figure out exactly where I want them to be. I'm thinking right about here. So let's put down the following blocks. Cool. That might be good. Yeah, I like the looks of that. Now here we're going to have 2 runes. And I'm going to place down my arcane seals. And they're going to do a couple important tasks for me. But first, back here, I want to place down a chest of some sort. Probably just a regular chest. Yeah, that sounds good. So I'll grab the crafting table for me. Make just a standard, old, boring, normal vanilla chest. Not often that I make a vanilla item, but, you know, has to happen now and again, doesn't it? So let's plant that chest right about here. And underneath this thing, I'm going to want to have another regulator. I'm just trying to decide exactly how I want this thing to work. Yeah, this should be okay. Yeah, I think we'll figure it out. So I'm going to have a regulator here, and probably a couple complicated builds, but I think we'll be okay. Why don't I go get a couple more items that I might need out of my alchemy bag? Well, first off, I know one of the combinations of seals that I want to make is going to be water, earth, air. And if you don't remember, that's the one that rapidly encourages the growth of plants and crops in a short radius. But instead, I think I might actually want the replanting one. So let's go earth, magic, air. That's the one that rapidly replants any seeds from a nearby container. So that was earth, magic, air. So let's get that ready. Earth, magic, air. Earth, magic, air. Cool. So that'll grab from a nearby container and plant them down. And then the other thing I want to get is the air, dark, dark. Yeah, I think that's it. Air, dark, dark. So let's get our white bag opened up here and get out some dark. And I'll put these guys away as well. So air, dark, dark. And if you don't remember, that's the one that should suck nearby items up and pull them right into the chest. So let's see if that's working or not. Come on now. Air, dark, dark. You should be doing something, air, dark, dark. Alright, doesn't seem like it's working. Let's see if I can figure out why that might be. Where's my crystal ball? Okay. Am I... Did I do air, magic, magic? That might be my problem. Derp. Get the darks out of there. That's probably what I did. I think I did air, magic, magic by mistake. And you guys probably caught that too. No, not the crystal and bell. I need my wand of reversal. Where are you at? There it is. Almost dead. Hope I got enough. Perfect. Okay. Well, that one's blowing stuff away, but let's get the dark, dark on there now. I knew I did something wrong. Alright, start sucking items in, would you? There it goes. From a nice long distance away, too. Yoink. Pulls it right in there, which is perfect. So that's what I wanted to see. So now we've got the collection and the planting of seeds. I like it. Let's go get a couple seeds, actually, from the overworld. And while I'm there, I think it occurs to me I might need, actually, a total of 3 of the green laser things. So I'm going to go ahead and make those off camera real quick. Alright, all done. So turn this off and back on again. And I might want to have a few more of those pedestals dealing with those enemies. But let's go ahead and plant our seeds right here in this chest. And what we should see is those seeds start to get planted. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted to see. Now I'm going to need a couple rubies because I'm going to need some drills again. So let's go into this bag. Might have rubies. No, probably not. This one might. Where did I put those things? Maybe in here. And yeah, I know I'm being attacked. Come over here and die. Much better. Found my rubies. Just can't be bothered with all those wisps. Remind me next time I go to craft a new Mistcraft age to make it a desert age. I think that would have a pretty low chance of having high beasts in the area. Cool. So now these guys should be able to pull in some stuff. Just need to get some levers on the back there. Let's go ahead and just make a few of these because, as usual, I'm going to need a handful. That sounds good. So just as a quick old test to this, let's do the following. Yoink. So by turning that on, look how quickly your wheat grows. It's awesome. Perfect, exactly what I wanted to see. Nice. So everything looks like it's working. I'm not even going to test these guys just yet. I'm going to want to have the following set up. Probably a regulator under here to try and keep 3 wheat into that chest at all times, I think. But not at all times, believe it or not. I'm going to do this a little bit more trickily. Because I want this all to happen in succession. I don't want everything to happen at the same time. Because I want to be able to watch it all. That's the fun of a Rube Goldberg machine, is watching each piece consecutively work. So now I'm going to pop into here and get 1, 2, 3, 4 of these red matter. Oh yeah, red matter time. And from my transmutation table, well, I'd like to grab some dark matter. And you should recognize this contraption because I made the exact same recipe a couple episodes ago. Hint. Dark matter pedestal. Cool. That guy is going to sit right there. What's going to go inside my dark matter pedestal? Well, there's an item that I crafted 2 of a while ago and everybody yelled at me for, so now I'm going to use one of them. Ha! Harvest Goddess Band. Remember, shift-click on your pedestal to access it, and just place your Harvest Goddess Band right in there, and right-click. Ding! The Harvest Goddess Band is going to do 2 things. Number 1, it's going to rapidly encourage the growth of nearby plants, but number 2, it's going to automatically harvest them. So this is what the Harvest Goddess Band is doing in this scenario, is harvesting them. 1, 2, 3... Okay, let's watch all the magic happen. Ta-da! Everything grows quickly, poof, and gets sucked into the thing. Awesome. Let's turn these lasers off and turn this thingy off. Beautiful. Isn't that cool? And this guy needs to be not so fully charged. And get our laser placed back. Cool. So when this thing's on, it's going to automatically grow the plants a little quicker, harvest them, and then they'll get sucked in by the Thaumcraft seal. So we've got 3 pieces of wheat in there, and we got a couple extra seeds from whatever came off of these guys. So that's kind of cool. I like it. And this thing should be planting another seed relatively soon. We'll see what happens. Come on, dude. Don't fail me now. Plant the seed, please. There it goes. All right, nice. Awesome. Now let's go get a couple red power items that we're going to need to make sure that everything runs smoothly. Again, I'm probably going to use a regulator to make sure I get the right number of items out of this build, and we'll see where we go from there. So how about I build a regulator off camera, and then I might need to get a logic circuit or 2. And what kind of interesting logic gate am I going to make? Well, I'm going to make an RS NOR latch, and you can see the recipe right here. This is one of my favorite logic gates, believe it or not. I think it's just cool. Big fan of the RS NOR latch. Might as well just make a few since I have them in the crafting table, though I'm pretty sure I only need the 1, and back to the Age of Rubes. I also grabbed myself a regulator, which I actually found in one of my chests, and a filter. Cool. Now the regulator is going to sit right underneath here. And I want to make sure it faces upwards. So where's this guy? Is that going to work? I don't know, we'll find out. Let's get ourselves a few more wheat. Please make that happen, wheat. I might want to run some red alloy wiring under the flooring here. Now if I run this like so, is it going to work? This is what we're going to find out right now. Lever. Rapidly encouraging. Oh yeah, it is. How's it going? Perfect. So that was just a test, of course. That lever is not in the final position, But, yep, we're good. Cool. Alright, so that looks good to me. Yeah. And we're going to need to turn this guy off too. Just keep that in mind. So, do I have the wheat that I need? Where'd the wheat go? Didn't go in here, did it? It did go in here! How special is that? I did not want that to happen. Oy. That is going to be tricky. I believe I can solve it, however, by moving this thing over one. If I place this guy here, yeah, right? Place this here and the regulator here. This regulator, I think, is too far away from this block. Hopefully, we'll find out in a second. Let's drop an item on the ground and see where it goes. Did you go in here? No. You went in here. Great. Alright, give me a minute to figure that out. Alright, let's try this as a solution. If I put this guy right here, you think that might behave itself? Yoink. You guys land in the wrong place again. Alright, well, for whatever reason, it looks like this thing's behaving a little better now by placing the regulator next to it, which I didn't expect to actually work, but they are landing in the chest here instead of in the regulator. Good, about time. Now I want the regulator to only emit a redstone signal when it's got 3 wheat inside, so watch what happens, right? Right now, place the 3 wheat in, and it should detect that, and it's not. Why not? Ah, because it's facing the wrong way. There we go. Now the signal's on. Cool. Right? So signal's off. Signal is on. Perfect. So that's all the regulator's going to do. It's not actually putting items in. It's only going to be used as a trigger saying, hey, I'm done. I've got what I need. I'm happy. Cool. Following that, we're going to want a filter set up. Nice. But before we do that, let's get some wiring going. Now, I mentioned an RS NOR latch, and the reason for that is I want to knock this thingy off here and place down probably some kind of fancier looking wiring than what I've got. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Let's leave it there for now, and then we'll figure it out as needed. So basically, we want an RS NOR latch set up that does the following. And I have to remember how these work in red power, because they always work the opposite of how I expect them to. Is it this side that receives the redstone signal? No, it's not. It's that side. Cool. Alright, so that's what the RS NOR latch does, is when it receives a redstone signal on the side that's off, it swaps the output, like that. And then it has to receive a signal from this side to swap the output again. Cool? Very cool. Alright, so let's make that happen. So here's our regulator, and we need to wire that guy up to here. Cool. And don't worry about that. That thing's going to be okay in about a second. Why are you on? I don't want this on. So if I shift-click this, that's what I want, that mode. Alright, cool. And what that means is in the mode it was in before, it would keep the signal on when the other one's off, and it's a little bit more complicated, but basically I wanted to not have both sides receiving a redstone signal. I just want them to swap the outputs. So note that it's no longer sending out a redstone signal at the side now, whereas a minute ago it was. So let's try this real quick, and I'm probably going to need a little bit more wheat. So let's do that. Right, so let's wire it up again. We'll be okay. And then put the wheat in, and boom, it spit it out. Perfect, what I wanted to see. And note that it's no longer keeping a redstone signal here like it was a minute ago. Perfect. So if that's the side that turns it off, this is the side that's going to activate the whole little system we've got. Boom. And that's going to activate the growing. Okay, so note how everything's grown now. But we need to activate one more component of this. And that component is this pedestal. So what we want to have happen is when the redstone signal triggers on this side, it's going to pulse the pedestal, and this thing is also going to pulse the pedestal off. And I would like to wire this under the ground, but let's do it above ground now so that both you guys can see it and I can make sure it works properly before I go make fancy wiring. And for this, I'm probably going to need a little bit more redstone. Red alloy wire, good to go. So this guy is then going to wind up, yeah, I know, terrible, but it should work. Okay, so when we pulse it on this side, it's going to activate everything. So we also need the pulse here to be received over here. That'll be fun. Do I have a pulsar in there in my bag? Pulse former, nice. That's exactly what I want. I'm just going to run it under the ground here for a minute. And again, not terribly attractive looking, but it should function. Probably not the right spot for you. Where'd it go? I like those blocks that like pull items towards them and then funny things happen. No, stop. That's down there somewhere. I'll find it. Alright, what was I doing? Oh yeah, this piece. Okay, so what that should do now is, let's turn this on, and note how it pulls everything in. And then once it's got the 3 wheat that it needs, it pulses, and then should have turned that off. I thought it would. Oh well, figure that out. Is this red wire not working? And it's going to wait for the 3 wheat that it needs. And once it gets it, boom, it pulsed it off. There we go, that's what I wanted to see. Nice. Now why are you still on 3 wheat? Oh, because you spit out seeds. Right, because I wanted to put 3 wheat into the filter here. So that's what the filter is going to do, is it's going to spit out 3 wheat. Alright, so let's try that again and make sure the pulse former is working. It's not. Let's pretend it did. Planting seeds, planting seeds. Good job. Growing wheat. Ta-da! So that thing simultaneously retoggles the RS NOR latch, spits items out the filters back, and turns this thingy off. Theoretically. Seems to be working about half the time. Oh well. We'll mess with it a bit. Let me test it a little bit off camera, but that's the basic gist. I might need to get this pulse former. That might need to be the way the pulse former works. Maybe I need this thing to be a pulse former too? I'm wondering if this thing's just not behaving completely properly for me. So let's try this now. I got the pulse former underneath working, by the way. So that's going to turn it off. Let's turn it back on. And now, will the pulse former there make it behave better? Yeah, it did. Nice. Only thing is I left this on. So, whoops, on my part. Getting there, getting there. Cool. That's working better now. I think the redstone signal was staying on just a little too long over here, so this pulse former definitely helped. Now the seeds will get replanted automatically, which will be good. And yeah, I think this little setup works. Now let's make it look prettier. Alright guys, so let's check out how this setup is all changed now. Basically, I just put everything underground because I found that just hitting the redstone wire directly underneath the dark matter pedestal, the redstone signal goes through the block, of course, and activates the redstone pedestal, or the dark matter pedestal from underneath. So I've basically wired it like so. The regulator emits the redstone signal from this block here, activates the filter through this block, and then does the pulse former to turn it off, and then when the signal comes in, it activates it under here and turns that on. Now I'm debating how much of this I want to be above ground, and I'm thinking almost none. But let's give it a test real quick. If I turn this on, like I said, if I turn this on, what did I do? How did I break you? Oh, it's already on. That's why. There we go. Let's try that again. Oh, you know what? Derp. I didn't have this thing set up properly. Yeah, to disable the RS NOR latch. Important. So let's try that again. Turn you on, and that turns off the RS NOR latch. And should have turned this off, but probably because it all happened too fast. Let's try it once more. Toggle on, and it activates the thing. Because I have to move my RS NOR latch. That's part of the problem. I haven't done that yet. Perfect. So we've got everything, we're spitting out the wheat, everybody's happy, everything's working properly. Good. Now let's move this RS NOR latch underground, I think. But before that, I want to head to the overworld. Cool. I want to poke around in one of my chests over here to see if I've got what I want to have. I guess I do. Nice. Wireless transmitter and receiver. Now I know I'm having trouble with these in one of my other Mistcraft ages, but I think that's because that age was created before the latest update, and the newer age that I created now within the newer update is working properly. And remember, we need to turn these off and put them back in just to reset, kind of. Alright, so let's get our wireless transmitter set up over here. But first I want to create what's called a redstone transport pipe. And what that does is it emits a redstone signal whenever an item travels through it. Do I want that, or do I want to do this a little differently? Good question. Not sure what I want to do to cause the transmission of the wireless redstone, but we'll figure that out in a minute. For now, I'm just going to move my RS NOR latch underground. Okay, cool. So let's put our RS NOR latch back and get this thing working the way it was a minute ago, and then we'll set up the wireless. Okay. So we're probably going to want the RS latch to be here, and screwdriver it to the position where it's like that, and then just that way. That sound cool? No, that might be wrong. I think I want it actually to be here. Cool. So that turned it off, right? Yep, or that would have turned it off. So that's what we want to see. Probably correct. I just want to test this from under here to make sure I'm putting things in the right spot. And the tricky part is you can't put a lever upside down. There we go. I think I've got this thing wired sort of figured out properly. So run this stuff like this. Here to, and this is going to break in a second, so let's get out of my bag a strip or something. Where is a cover strip? That'll work. Probably just this. There we go. And we'll also need a cover strip here, won't we? Much better. That should work. And then we just need to have our input be over here. So let's see what happens. Turn on the input. And I should have had this wired up properly. So if that was properly connected, it would have activated. And then once all the items go in, it should have turned off the input. Cool, except it didn't because I didn't wire that either. There we go. That's what it should have done. Cool. So let's try that once more, once this thing replants. Come on, buddy. That'll be fine. So, input. Output already. Why is that continuing to emit a redstone signal? Oh, for some reason something didn't get pulled out properly. Probably because I had some stuff disabled. Let's try it now. Oh, you know what? Do I not have my wired block properly? Yeah, I need to... That's what's happening, is I don't have the connector. Kind of hard to do this a little bit blind, isn't it? You guys probably saw exactly the mistake I was making and yelling at me the whole time. That should now pulse the filter, which is complaining because there's nowhere for stuff to go, but that's okay. Let's get the wheat out of here and try everything again. So on this time, and things grow, and everything should shut off automatically once it gets 3 wheat in there. Ta-da! And it spit the item out the back. Perfect. Looks like it's working. So now let's set up our wireless receiver and see if this thing will connect directly to this logic circuit gate. I think it should. Wireless receiver can go here. And we'll make this frequency 10. I don't know. Should be good. If I set this guy up on frequency 10, let's get this out of here, by the way, now. Let's put frequency 10 right here. Ta-da! Working perfectly. Nice. So do I want to do that with a redstone wire gate thingy? That's the only question I have, because I'm not positive that I do. Because this thing might need to be a little bit different. I only want it to happen once when this goes through. So give me a minute to think it through. Alright, I'm going to test this because I've actually never tried it before. I have no idea if it's going to work. But let's put some items away. I don't think I need this, but I do want a state cell. I'm going to use that for some of the trickery I'm about to try. I'm also going to put away some of the items I don't need, like my crystal ball and a couple other junky items that I can probably get rid of pretty soon. Alright, the state cell combined with the transmitter. I'm hoping this works. And let's rotate this guy to face this way and give it about a 2-second delay. I might want it to be a little bit more of a delay. Let's take you over there. And hopefully this will work. Like I said, not a clue. But if I give this guy maybe a 3 or 4 second delay. 3 seconds? 4 seconds. Let's make it 4. Alright. And maybe here we'll put a golden pipe. That might be a good idea. So let's dig in our bags. I should have something in here. Don't think I've ever used a redstone, maybe even in Season 3 I don't think I used a redstone pipe. But they're cool. You'll enjoy them. I know I used one in Season 2, or at least I'm pretty sure. Cool. The redstone pipe, like I said, 2 pieces of redstone with glass on either side. Get out our crafting table. Or, yeah, you know what I meant. 2 pieces of redstone with glass in the middle gets us the redstone transport pipe. And what this thingy does is it emits a redstone signal when an item's traveling through it. So if there's an item in the pipe, signals on and activates it. I could do this with a gate, by the way, but I'm not. And if an item is not in the pipe, it's not emitting a redstone signal. The reason I have a gold pipe here is I want the item to go through very quickly. I don't want it to dilly-dally in the pipe and have the redstone signal on for a long time. That's not going to work for what I want to do. Now, just to see if I can get this redstone wire thing to, you know, permeate through the floor here, what I want to do is probably left 1 and forward 1 from where the current thingy is. So let's try that. Hopefully this will work through the block. So left 1 and forward 1. Or that works too. It's actually here, I think. It's activating, but I don't know if I want that to be doing what it's doing. Is that a problem for me that it's doing that? Probably. So let's get a strip. See how nice these strips make running your redstone wire? That should behave better. And that keeps that thing on. Alright, you ready to try this thing start to finish so far? What do we got? Alright, let's do it. Break this thing off and cover these guys up. Probably going to need a cover somewhere. Can I just move this redstone so I don't have to use a cover? Yes, I can. Cool. Alright, start to finish. Let's grow a tree by pressing this button. Boom. Plant the tree. Grow the tree. Chop the tree. Item gets sucked in. So saplings, first off, will go in there. And the wood will head off to the right. Only 2 pieces of wood will be allowed inside the furnace. Any other wood will get rejected. Bounce back. Alright, now we're pumping up. Now I made this a 3-second delay for a reason. I only want this to pulse once per cycle. I don't want it to pulse twice. So I'm hoping that it takes about 3 seconds for the next item to come through. 1 1000, 2 1000, definitely more than 3 seconds. Should have made that like a 10-second delay. But that should have pulsed over there and activated my machine that's growing things, and yeah, it did. Nice. And that thing's going to grow and grow and grow. And it spit the weeds out, but because it pulsed a second time, it didn't go. So let's try that. I'm going to reset and increase the speed of the timer. Alright, so I've reset. I've bumped up the timer to 10 seconds. Let's plant the tree, grow the tree, and harvest the tree. Cool. Saplings go in on the left, and wood's going to head up the right path and only place 2 pieces of wood in. As soon as we collect all the saplings that we got, this time it was a lot. There goes the wood, finally. Once that cooks, hopefully the 10-second timer is enough. Let's see. So what we should see happen is the timer is going to start, I believe, and then it might get reset when the next redstone item comes through. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. So there's the first pulse, go. Starts the timer. Now hopefully it takes, a little less than 10 seconds. Come on. So close. Did it pulse it? I don't think it pulsed it. I think 10 seconds was almost the perfect time. So yeah, this thing isn't on. That's nice. Now when the 10-second timer goes off, boom, it's going to activate over here and start growing everything. Beautiful. And once we get our final piece of wheat spit out the back there, it's going to turn off the system automatically. Cool. Except this thing might have been improperly set. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Alright, I think that's pretty good. And I also think it's a good wrapping up point for this episode. So this is Direwolf20 signing off on episode 93 of Direwolf20's Let's Play. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and come back next time to see the next component of this build, because our wheat farm is pretty much done. Take it easy.